this topic. Now, a 78-year-old woman has died in the Sumy region as a result of a Russian drone attack on a residential area. This is according to the State Emergency Service of Ukraine. This comes as Russia had launched a total of 57 drones across Ukraine overnight, 18 of which were shot down per the Ukrainian Air Force. The Ukrainian Air Force had said that frontline areas in the Donetsk, Kharkiv, Sumy, and Dnipropetrovsk all come under the attack. Additionally, a pensioner was injured in the Zaporizhzhia region and 2 people were injured in Kherson. The war in Ukraine has been raging on since 2022, with repeated peace talks failing to end the war. Now we go back to our guest discussion with Ross Feingold. He's a political analyst. Thank you, Ross, for staying with us. How might this continued violence, despite repeated peace talks, influence international stakeholders' willingness to engage diplomatically or increase military support?
It's clear that the European countries, whether that's Poland or Germany, France, the United Kingdom, Italy, at the moment, they are still very steadfast in their support for Ukraine, which includes financial support as well as military support. And we have the recent development when Mark Rutte, the Secretary General of NATO, met with President Trump last week, which was a commitment by European countries to buy from the United States more military equipment and to transfer those purchases to Ukraine. So at the moment, the Europeans, as they have had throughout the nearly 3.5 years of this war, the Europeans remain fairly united and fairly steadfast in their willingness to provide financial and military support to Ukraine. Obviously, President Trump has vacillated at times. It seemed like he didn't want to provide military assistance to Ukraine. He now is willing to do this deal with Europe, where the European countries will purchase weapons from the United States and transfer them to Ukraine, which will mean that the United States weapons manufacturers profit from this process. But the fact that Russia is still continuing attacks, it's continuing attacks on civilian targets, it's resulting in civilian deaths, that by itself is nothing new, and I don't think it has a significant effect on European thinking because this is basically the situation that we've been in for 3.5 years.
And Ross, how could shifting U.S. political stances and demands such as conditioning arms supports on European financial contribution influence the cohesion and strategy of NATO?
That's a really good question. The key thing I would say at the moment, as of today, is that the key European countries, the largest financial and military powers in Europe, they still seem to be united in their willingness to support Ukraine, both financially as well as with military aid. And those key countries include Poland and Germany, France, the United Kingdom, Italy, as well as some of the smaller European countries as well. So that situation remains unchanged, and I'm sure Ukraine is very grateful because again, the policies of the Trump administration have vacillated a bit in the 6 months that the Trump administration has been in office. But at least for now, it still seems like the European countries are united and they're willing to purchase weapons from the United States and transfer them to Ukraine in the near term.
Thank you very much, Ross Feingold, for joining us and sharing your insight as a political analyst throughout our news. Well, that's all we have time for. We will continue to bring more